Hey everybody, this is Eve with the Manifest University. And before we get started, there is a link in the description of this video to my brand new Manifest Financial Freedom crash course. If that is something that you're looking to change, then I've got the course for you. Thanks for joining me today. You can throw some likes and loves and yeses in the box below if you can hear me. And also any questions that you have. I'd love to address them today. I want to tell you a little bit about what I do, and then I want to give you an awesome example of how to understand where you got the beliefs that are holding you back, okay? So I teach manifestation, and I teach it in a little bit different way than what you may have read about or heard in other classes or wherever you learned about the law of attraction, okay? And I teach something that is called paradigm shifting. Now, any tool that you guys learn out there, the goal is to change your feelings, okay? Because we manifest with our feelings, okay? So if someone told you to visualize or write something down or meditate, all those things are awesome. They all help you basically change your internal self to how you feel, and that leads to our beliefs, right? So that's one way we get beliefs. I have found that many people are doing these exercises wrong. And so what happens is I get people that come to me and they feel stuck because they've tried a certain amount of things in their life. They've basically tried anything that somebody has taught them. It doesn't really matter if they read it in a manifestation book, or did it in a course or in a class. Also try all their parents or their teachers or some. Okay, so the idea here is to get unstuck, okay? And I understand that if you keep trying something and you're on repeat, you keep getting the same results over and over, you're going to be extremely frustrated, right? That is not a place that we want to be. By the way, guys, I saw some eyeballs coming in and out. There's a description of this video, financial freedom crash course. If that's what you want to change is your finances and get more money, that's for you. So basically, in a nutshell, what we're talking about here is we're talking about changing your feelings permanently. And I call that paradigm shifting, okay? So that's when you make more, like a larger change in your life than just, starting to visualize and see something that you want or even writing it down. We're talking about how you feel and the choices you make and the results that you get at the end, okay? And really to consistently get what you want and keep it, which is the key, right? You don't want to just manifest something and lose it. You want to keep it. To be able to do that, you really need to change your feelings permanently, okay? And that is paradigm shifting, okay? So you're going to change how you feel. That's going to change your choices. It's also going to change how everybody and everything around you reacts to you, okay? I know that seems strange or not possible, that like if you just feel differently, people on the outside will just treat you differently, but that's actually how that works, okay? It doesn't really matter if it's like, people at work or your family or your friends or just random strangers. You will find that if you feel differently, people around you, in fact, will treat you differently. Different opportunities will come to you. All kinds of awesome things will happen because you are functioning in a different way and they're reading that off of you, okay? So you're really showing how you feel by like every action that you make and how you function in life, you know what I'm saying? So again, if you feel on repeat, the goal here is to change how you're feeling permanently, not temporarily. And really anything can change how you feel. You might do a visualization and feel great, and then all of a sudden, you're in traffic or someone says something rude to you and your entire internal self feels differently and all things start to spiral downward. So the goal is to hold that feeling regardless of what is going on the outside, okay? And that's very similar to visualizing, right? Because we want to see something that's actually not physically in front of us, and we hold that vision regardless of what is around us. So for you guys, the new eyeballs that rolled in here, There's a link in this description of this video to my brand new Manifest Financial Freedom crash course. If you're serious about changing your situation with money, there's the link for you, okay? I'll see you in the class. Okay, so I want to tell you a little story about some years ago. We're talking a decade or more ago. I was going to do a documentary and a study on people who overcame different types of traumas in the Middle East, okay? And we're finding these sort of like a miraculous success stories, because these are people who believe beyond how they physically are. Maybe they lost the use of their legs, or who knows how they were impaired, different things, okay? And regardless of what happened to them, they overcome it, and boom, they're propelled into this awesome thing where they achieve things they didn't even and couldn't even achieve before their accident or before their impaired self, right? They wouldn't even call themselves impaired. They would say that their life improved. And so that's an interesting perspective right there. But what's really interesting is that when I went to make it, I actually contacted somebody who had a lot of camera and editing experience that I wanted to work with me, and he was from Israel. And I had already gone there and shot a bunch of examples of the kinds of things I wanted to shoot and put together. And the first thing that he said to me was, why do you think you're going to find stories of trauma in Israel? Like, yeah, I really went blank. Like, you're joking, right? Like, it's Israel. It's at war all the time, right? So you think that there aren't stories of trauma in like literally every single ethnic society there after all of the different things that they've gone through. And he's from there, and he truly had this reaction. Now, only later did I fully understand that like people who live there need to actually think and feel like nothing is a threat and it's not really happening around them. And that's a form of manifestation, which is pretty mind-boggling, right? Like that's pretty powerful stuff right there, to be able to pretend that it's not really there and it can't affect you, and like you can keep going. But from my point of view, I wanted to make a documentary about this stuff and then find the people who had overcome something that did happen to them. And he was in full-blown denial that this actually existed there. Now, the bigger picture here, like this is like many levels of manifestation here going on. The bigger picture is that if I had actually listened to him, I would have never gone there and made that project, okay? So, the question is, how do we get the beliefs that hold us back? If I had listened to somebody who's actually from that country and believed that there is in fact no story to collect about someone who overcame a trauma in a miraculous way and went on to achieve great things that they couldn't even do before their trauma, I would have never made that project. Okay, that would have been a belief. And by the way, this is someone I really respected, right? So you see how I could have easily taken what he said, and that would have become my belief structure, and then I would have never made that project. But I think this example is a really interesting one, because we're talking about him being from a society where they manifest that it's not going to hurt me, and it can't touch me, and it's not really there, and we survive no matter what happens, and it's not even that bad, and maybe it doesn't even exist. Like fourth dimension kind of belief systems as a way of surviving. Pretty amazing, insane, cool, not cool from my perspective, but cool for them as a society that continues to overcome the craziest things, right? And like on a daily basis, right? Because they have bombings on a daily basis there, especially in the South. So I learned a lot while I was there. I went ahead and made the project. It turned out pretty cool. So the idea here is, how do we get our beliefs that hold us back from the people we respect, the people who are good at something that they do, and we admire them in some way, people who are close to us, our family, any teachers that we had, our best friends, anyone who can get some sort of emotional respect or reaction out of our internal self. We will take what they say as truth. Okay, but we gotta edit those. We have to comb through them and make sure that it's not just something they created to function properly in their own life. Okay, so for you guys who just came in, there's a link in the description of this video to my brand new Manifest Financial Freedom crash course. Sign up if you are really, really serious about changing your finance. If you want more money, that is the link for you. Okay. And to recap on all this, what we are saying here is that the people who are closest to us, or the people who have gained our respect or proven that they're very good at something in some way, we take the things that they say or display as our own truths. And what we need to do is edit through those and make sure that we aren't taking what they've developed as a coping skill or something that works for them to function in their life as our truth, when it may not be the truth at all. Right? And so we come to a place where we question, what is the truth? And it's really important that you're not holding yourself back by collecting a truth that is not serving your higher good, right? You guys, if you find these videos helpful, please share them on your page. Throw me some likes, some loves. I love comments. Ask me a question. If I don't answer it in this video, I will answer it in the next one. I'm here for you. I'm going to help you get to your manifestations, and just let everybody know that I'm here live every single day. And I really appreciate you being here and taking the time. And I'm sending you off with Edit Your Truth.